Hi, in this video we're going to discuss some of the things we love about the Dyson V8 Absolute. We'll also highlight some improvements over the V6 Absolute. Now, we got our V8 about a month ago. We've had a chance to run it through some of its paces. Probably one of the first things just to talk about is what do you get when you buy the V8 Absolute. And we've spread everything out here. This is actually what's in the box. You get the handheld unit, of course, with the main motor in it. The wand, which is kind of a goldy orange color. You get some tools, 4 tools. There's a dusting brush, a combo tool, a crevice tool, a motorized tool. You've got the charger to charge up the battery. You've got a wall mounting unit, which works fairly well. You've got to put a couple of screws in that first. Of course, a manual. And over here are the 2 cleaning heads, one designed for carpet and one designed for bare floors. And that takes us to one of the first things we really like about this machine is having the separate cleaning heads. Now, the one for bare floors is very, very soft. It's made so it doesn't mar softer surfaces like some hardwood floors. And of course, the one for carpet, which is much more stiffer bristles. So that's the first thing we like about the V8. Now, the second thing is the fact that it's fairly lightweight. If we take the handheld unit, we attach the wand, put a cleaning head on the end of that. Doesn't matter which one, really. The whole thing, this whole piece now weighs 5.75 pounds. And if you're just using the handheld unit itself, typically, especially with one of the lighter tools like this, you're looking at, and we've weighed this on a scale, about 3.5 pounds. We also really like that this machine has such a small footprint. If you're putting it in the closet, you can just throw it into a corner somewhere in the closet and lean it against a wall. If you really want to mount it, you've got the wall mounting bracket, and it works quite easily. You slip the battery into that, and that clips into place. And actually the charger can go in the end here as well, so your unit can be on charge as it's mounted to the wall. It's a little bit of a spring action to take it out. It's really quite simple. In addition, the fact that it's cordless is just so convenient. It's really the first machine that we grab when we have a quick pickup to do, and it's great for doing the stairs. We've got low pile carpet here. We always use it just to run up and down the stairs. So it does a really good job for that, and it's very convenient. The machine is maneuverable. Now, we find just the twist of a wrist, and this head here turns. So you can see how easily that head turns. And if I turn the vacuum on, it works really well. Also, it's fairly low profile. It gets under low furniture without too much trouble. We also like how easy it is to convert to a handheld. I mean, there you go, and you can put your tools on the end, and you've got a handheld vacuum. Another thing we like about this machine is the decent runtime you get on standard mode, and it's up substantially over the V6, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, just so you know, the unit has 2 power modes. There's maximum mode and standard mode. Now, right now we're talking about standard mode. Now, with a fully charged battery, the carpet tool will give you about 25 minutes of runtime. The bare floors tool and the mini motorized tool will give you about 30 minutes of runtime. And these non-motorized tools, dusting brush, combo tool, crevice tool, you're looking at about 40 minutes of runtime. The other thing is on max mode, while the runtime is substantially shorter, you do get 115 air watts of power. And that's pretty substantial. That's right up there with the DC-24 upright, for example. We like that the V8 is fairly easy to empty. It has something called a hygienic emptying system. And you can see there's like a red pull tab on the top of the vacuum here. You essentially pull that up, and the cycle assembly pulls up, and that scrapes the dust and debris off the inside of the canister. The bottom door opens up, dust and debris into your garbage can. Then you push it back down, close the lid, and you're done. And that works really well. We also like that we've got a HEPA filter here, and it's easy to take off. It's washable. When it's dry, you can just pop it back on. There's another filter here, by the way. It does need to be cleaned once in a while, but that's not the HEPA filter. Now, a HEPA filter is great because it helps remove things like tobacco smoke, pet dander, mold spores, all sorts of things from the air. Now, to make sure that your HEPA filter works well, it's nice to have a vacuum with a sealed system so that all the air entering the vacuum is forced through the HEPA filter before it's exhausted from the vacuum. And that's what you get here. This does have a sealed system. We also like that the V8 is fairly quiet, especially on standard mode. Now, we found both the V8 and the V6 perform similarly in terms of cleaning. There really isn't much difference between the two. Here we're going to quickly show you how the V8 performs on some dust and debris on low pile carpet. Then we'll look at it on bare floors, and then even some pet hair on medium pile carpet. So here in front of us we've got some fine dust, we've got some lentils, some Cheerios, and even a bit of pet hair. And let's see how the V8 does on this. Okay. Okay, it does a pretty good job. The only thing is if you've got some large debris, like these kind of things, it will push it around. This nozzle is fairly low, and that would actually be even exacerbated more if you got deeper pile carpet. But in terms of basic cleaning, pretty good. Okay, now we've switched over to bare floors. We've changed the cleaning head to the softer bare floor cleaning head. And we've got a pretty ugly looking debris field here, and let's see how this does. That works remarkably well. Now, how about some ground-in pet hair on a medium pile carpet? This is fairly long white dog hair. You'll notice we've switched back here to the carpet tool. Let's see how it works. Okay, it has no problem at all on that. A little harder to push on this because this is a little deeper. And again, there's no such thing as height control on something like this. Here we can see it's gathered up a bit of the hair, but actually not that much. So again, it performed fairly well. Now let's talk about some of the specific improvements the V8 has over the V6. First, let's go back to runtime. Now in standard mode, the V6 produces 28 air watts of suction. It's the same as the V8, 28 air watts of suction. With the V8, we had 25 minutes of runtime. With the carpet tool, with the bare floors, and motor-driven tool, we had 30 minutes. Now, if we go over to the V6, all of this together, you're looking at about 16 minutes of runtime. Over here with the V8, the non-motorized tools, we had 40 minutes of runtime. The V6, 20 minutes of runtime, so half the amount of runtime. Now, on maximum mode, you've got 100 air watts of suction with the V6. You got 115 with the V8, so it's a little bit more. In addition, Dyson have used acoustic felt and closed cell foam in the construction of the V8, and it results in the V8 being substantially quieter, especially in standard mode. And it is noticeable, and we'll show you that right now. Just move these out of the way. First, we'll run the V6. This is in standard mode. Okay. Now we're going to take the V8 in standard mode, put it in the same place. To us here, it's audibly more quiet. Another difference between these two machines is dust canister size. The V6 has a 0.11 gallon dust canister, while the V8 has a 0.14 gallon dust canister. And that's, I think, a 27% larger dust canister. It's nice to have the larger dust canister because you have to empty it less frequently when you're vacuuming. And the way these dust canisters empty is also different. With the V6 here, it's fairly traditional. You've got a button, and you push this down, the door opens up, dust and debris come out. And the biggest issue with the V6 has always been that it's hard to get this stuff out. Sometimes you've got to dig your hands in here and pull stuff out. Sometimes it's hard to get at. It's bits and pieces. And in order to get all of the things out, you may have to take this whole canister assembly off. So there were some complaints about that, you noticed when reviewing things on the V6. Now in the V8, they've tried something different. It's called the hygienic emptying system. In this case, there's like a pull tab on the top, and this will take this whole cyclone assembly and pull it up, so you're going to have much better access inside that dust canister. And let's try that now. Okay, now often everything will follow, but not always. We've got a lot of long hair here, but it's so much easier to get in there and pull things out. You can fit your whole hand in there. And to close it, you push the assembly back down. Now sometimes you get a puff of dust when you do that, so you probably want to have a bigger dust canister than there, a bigger garbage can than this, but put that down and then close this back yourself. Now, we like the new system. It's just easier access, and it's helpful. One other slight improvement of the V8 over the V6 is the battery charge light. This is the V6 here, and you see the battery charge light there. If you turn the machine on, battery light comes on, tells us we've got a charge. If that starts to flash, that actually means that the battery's about to go, and how close it's about to go, who knows. But over here on the V8, we take a look at that. They put in 3 lights. Now we turn this on. Only light 1 is illuminated, so that tells you you're at a low battery charge. So there's 3 levels. So it really indicates whether you've got a low level of charge, a medium level of charge, or a high level of charge. And we find that kind of thing useful, just to get an idea of how much vacuuming time is left at a glance. So we've highlighted some of the things we love about the Dyson V8 Absolute. We've also indicated where we felt it was an improvement on the V6 Absolute. So, does this tell you the full story? Well, not entirely, as in our opinion, the machine does have a few issues. And you can learn about those in our video entitled Things We Dislike About the Dyson V8 Absolute. Thanks for watching.